5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. You remember?
For the day, Dr. Way, all that good stuff. 239, 240, something like that, something around there. I wanted to bang out more of these today, but only the one because as you know, I'm on a bit of a catch up at the moment due to what was a long run of bad internet, but we seem to be out of the woods there. So now I can get back on that sort of catch up vibe. But I've just not really been taking in much information, much things that have been going on. I don't know if there is much that's been going on, but no. And I feel like a lot of my Twitter has been overtaken by football. It usually is anyway, but more so now, called like deadline day transfers, all that kind of stuff. So like my whole timeline is just here we go, here we go. It's very. It's very Fabrizio heavy. This is where he makes his bread. And now that he can finally earn money off Twitter, it's a little bit more. And I saw like a KSI clip on Impulsive Logan Paul's podcast about the money you make off Twitter, and like he was talking about for the amount of money KSI, who obviously gets a lot of impressions, a lot of this, a lot of that on Twitter, how much he makes a month, and it was like £1,100, like 1,000, and like he was going on like, let me tell you, for these much impressions, let me tell you how much I make, and it was like 11,000, and like. Because I've heard like people complain about the amount of money you get on TikTok and the amount of money you get for like YouTube Shorts, I thought it would be a lot lower. Because like he was building up to it, like he was prefacing bears before he said it, and like 1.1k for a month from tweeting. Considering how bad I know like TikTok money can be, just like pure TikTok revenue, it's basically non-existent, and Shorts is crap. To like. Relative, because obviously they also preface that obviously we're not saying that you should be getting more money than that just for tweeting. We know that you're just tweeting to get that money, but comparatively speaking with the other apps and stuff, but like yeah, sure, compared to like YouTube, yeah, it's not great, but like if you realistically, comparatively speaking, just with the other apps in this little thing, outside of the fact you're just tweeting and you're getting a K for it, like ignore that. I'm not even talking about that, but like compared to TikTok and Shorts, YouTube Shorts, like that Instagram doesn't pay you, right? You're only going to be getting money through like sponsored posts, right? From like brands and stuff, and like affiliate links and things like that. So like, surely the only other app with I don't know about Facebook, so ignore that, but like surely the only other app with good with better revenues, with better like monetization purely from the app is YouTube, right? And like, even if there's a couple more, I think that's decent, man. I think that's decent because as much as TikTok gets clowned like it's so easy, you just have to do this, I think TikTok requires more effort. I think YouTube Shorts require more effort. So if you can be making £1,000 a month, and obviously KSI is huge, you think KSI, his impression, and yeah, he does get pretty good like impressions and like retweets and likes. I'm not sure what constitutes to making the money on Twitter yet, but there will be people who are like just big on Twitter, like those same faces you see always posting like funny tweets or like getting a lot of numbers. Who'll probably be doing better than KSI because they're just like Twitter people, So around 1k to 2k a month just for tweeting. If you're trying to make that your entire job realistically, and you're a person on Twitter, like if you like, for example, if that's just something you do every evening, you tweet out a couple of tweets, you can't really complain about the money you're getting from it because it's not like a job, For example, people can be doing YouTube or TikTok or other things like it's their job, but I don't see how Twitter could be your entire job. So if you're trying, so like at most for most people, it can only be a hobby for you. But like you can be doing TikToks, you could be doing it like it's like spending the amount of time like a job, but be making no money from it. If you know what I'm saying. But like Twitter, it's like even if that's like something that's like how do I explain this? It's like no matter how big it's for you, it is for you. I just feel like it's just something you're doing on the side. So like, to get an extra K or 2K a month for this little thing you're just doing anyway, I think's good, great money, because you're probably doing something else at the same time. And if you want to just be doing something like Twitter full time, then it's like Twitter shouldn't be your main thing anyway, and you should be like filtering your, for example, if you're like a big guy on music Twitter and you tweet about albums and shit, and you're that kind of guy, then like, and you like talking about music, you should probably have like articles or a blog or like a YouTube channel or something that you filter viewers from just the Twitter stream. Like, I don't know, Twitter just seems like it's never like, I don't see a way in which, as Twitter as it is now, I don't see a way how it would ever be the full-time job. So for something that's only ever really like a secondary promotional thing, or like a little meme shitpost thing, or like a thing, like it's always a side thing to another thing, I feel like. So I feel like the money for Twitter is pretty decent. Anyway, this was a whole long tangent. I don't remember why we got here, but I just remember seeing that and thinking, it's not bad. It's not bad. Like, and especially because of the whole like TikTok money's crap. Because like realistically, if you're like, you got bare followers on Twitter and you tweet like bare times a day, it's like, I don't know. Like I genuinely feel like having to dance, because like, and not all TikToks are just dancing, but having to dance on TikToks, I feel like is more work than tweeting, not tweets. But regardless of that, I don't know. I'm not really getting the exact point I want to get across right now. It's all coming out wrong, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But that did remind me of something, because the fact is Logan Paul. Which is this whole Dillon Danis thing. Is it Dillon Danis or is it just Dillon Danis? I don't know. He's meant to be fine. We don't even know if he's going to show up. And he's kind of taking the opportunity to make his Twitter bag by just sort of doing a whole lot of promo. It's not really promo for the fight. It's more just promo for himself to be a bit more relevant, because he probably won't show up to the fight against Logan Paul and stuff. So he's kind of he's being opportunistic here. I can use this as a great time to sort of shit talk and whatever. And, because it's like, it's weird. The reason it's weird, right, is I don't feel like a lot of people have said this particular reason. Isn't that like, oh, you're taking it too far and that, because the whole like, you're taking it too far thing and this and that, that's not what I'm saying. Like, because defending that you're taking it too far would be to say that, all fair in love and war and that. So like, you got to do anything you can to get in your competitor's head and like get to him, and like you got to hit him where it hurts and this type of stuff. But like, what's weird about it is he's not doing that. Like, he's not like playing the perfect game to like, oh, 1-0 me, 2-0 me, 2-1 to Logan, 3-1 back to me, 4-1 me, with like all these little things, right? So I'm trying to get in his head. And like, he might show up, I don't know, but like, most people think he's not going to show up. So it's like, he's not doing all of this kind of stuff. And this is more of my problem with it, right? You're not like doing all these low jabs and he's like poking at other people's stuff, right? It's like getting his head and getting the weakest. So you got your best opportunity to beat him. You're just doing it for like your own personal clout and shit. And that's why I think it's kind of lame. That's why I think it's like kind of like a low, like it's kind of like, it's not cool, Like if I was certain he would actually show up and fight, which is still to be seen, then I'd be a little bit more like, it's a little bit distasteful going straight for the wife. Are they married now? The missus, and all these photos he's managed to gather, and he's trying to like find people's girlfriends who aren't even public and like expose them more or less by posting their photos online and stuff, and like trying to do this and that or anything to like about basically the girlfriends of the people, because it will annoy the actual people. But like, he's more or less just like, at this point, just a troll. Like, he's more like, he's just doing things problematic. Like, for example, it'd be like if I just started terrorizing someone's like girlfriend or something online, and everyone's like, hey man, don't do that. And obviously, or if I'm just like, like if I'm just like, hey man, you're a prick, No, you're a prick, and your girlfriend's a prick too. Slag, slag, prick, prick, and she's a slag too. People would be like, hey man, you're just being a prick for no reason. Stop it. But obviously, if you're fighting someone, that's just that's just shit talk. That's just getting in the head. And that's fine. We all accept that that's fine in boxing. What I'm saying though is he's not doing that. He's just taking the opportunity to be annoying and then not show up, so it's just kind of lame and futile anyway. And that's why I'm like, well, if you're not going to show up, then this isn't a whole like game plan thing. This is just like an opportunity to be relevant for a couple weeks and like to annoy someone for a couple weeks. And if there's no end game of like, this is the reason I'm doing it, then it's just like, I don't know, I don't think it's that cool, man. I don't know if you still get paid if you don't show up. I don't know what the dealio is, but if he shows up, fair play. And maybe it was a little bit, maybe it's a little bit not cool to just go for people's misses or whatever. But I'd be like, it's boxing. There's kind of no rules, and I'd leave it at that. If he actually does show up, if he doesn't show up, then it's of course it's not cool, because then this isn't like a boxing thing. This isn't like a boxing. We haven't got the boxing parameters in it. All's fair, because it's no longer all's fair in love and war. It's just there's no love and war or whatever. It's just fucking being a fucking tyrant a little. So that's what I'd say on that dance thing. And secondly, I don't even find it that funny in general. Not because I'm like deeply offended. Oh no, but it's just a lot like funny. It's the same gimmick and trope, and like. People, I don't know, like it's Logan Paul. Like, here's the thing: Logan Paul's taking a lot of L's here. Is he though? Is he taking a lot of L's? Logan Paul is someone who has taken so many L's. But do you really take L's if you're not affected by the L's? Like, if the L's don't actually affect you or your career or your trajectory or anything? Because they don't. If anything, his stock is still rising, and rising even more now with this whole Dillon Danis thing, and I don't think he really cares. I think all it's really doing is making Logan Paul think Dillon Danis is a shittier person as time goes by. But I don't think it's actually like getting to Logan and it's gonna break his marriage apart and all this other type of shit people are going about, and it's gonna like fuck up this shit and that shit. Like, when you film a dead body in a suicide force and you come back from it, you can kind of take L's and just sort of move, just let them hit you on the head and just sort of move on and not even react. Like, essentially, like, it's just every few days Dillon Danis finds a new video of his girlfriend with another famous person, or like being horny online back in the day, or just whatever, and then tweeting out. And that's the whole, like, that's all of it, And when I look at, like, when I go to the quintessential, like, one of my favorite sort of like bit of shit talk rivalry back and forth, it was like probably more Conor McGregor, that was awful, versus Floyd Mayweather. It was a bit more dynamic, a little bit more showman-y, a little bit more fun. It's like you see Dillon Danis in person, and it's just like, it's just lame. I don't know. It doesn't hit the same. He's just sitting on the table and he's just like hunched over, and he's got he's got like his little graphic tee on. He's just like, yeah, just basically reading out everything he said on Twitter already like months ago. Yeah, your girlfriend's whore, your girlfriend's slag, your girlfriend's your girlfriend. And it's just like, it really does just come across as like online troll vibes. And it's just like not as dynamic as someone like Conor. So I don't feel like there's not enough angles to it from Dillon Danis, I would say. And it's like, it's too secondary. It's like, I'm getting in your head by targeting your girlfriend. So there's that angle. But also, there's kind of like the angle of, it's kind of like like a diss, right? Like a diss track or something. It's all just about this one person. But like, there is so much stuff you could probably say about Logan, and stuff you probably could dig up on Logan, which would like ruin Logan's image more, which is more the road I thought he'd want to go down, like ruin Logan's image. Like, making fun of like his situation with his girlfriend is like only going to be funny now. There's no lasting effects of that. But like, if you went from I don't know, I just think it's like the sell by date on it's kind of short, but each to their own. it's just a bit of fucking, it's all part and parcel of the fucking boxing game. Anything fucking goes. There is no below the belt because we just keep punching. But yeah, I've got myself to that point now where I've been talking so much I can hear my own voice too much and I'm getting a headache, and my own breath is causing me to sweat. Too hot. We love the self-deprecation here. This was 239 or 240, one of the two, and I'll see you on whichever number's next.
Here with the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet, like Euros.